Welcome to Frightening Fiction, the YouTube channel dedicated to all things horror. If you're a fan of scary stories and spine-tingling thrills, then you've come to the right place. Today's story is called Escape from the Pyramid of Horror, a struggle for survival. The Pyramids of Giza have stood for thousands of years, silent sentinels of a long-forgotten civilization. They are monuments to a power and technology that is beyond our understanding, and as such, they have always been shrouded in mystery and intrigue. But for one group of tourists, their visit to the pyramids would become a terrifying nightmare that they would never forget. It was a warm summer evening when the tour group arrived at the pyramids. They were a diverse group, made up of people from all over the world, united in their fascination with these ancient wonders. As they stepped off the bus and made their way towards the pyramids, they couldn't help but feel a sense of awe and reverence. The tour guide was a knowledgeable man who had spent many years studying the pyramids. He led the group around the base of the Great Pyramid, pointing out various features and explaining the history of the site. The group listened attentively, taking in all the information and trying to imagine what it must have been like to have built such an incredible structure all those thousands of years ago. But as the tour progressed and the sun began to set, something strange began to happen. The sky turned a deep red and the air grew thick with a strange mist. The tour guide grew visibly uneasy and urged the group to return to the bus. But before they could make it back, the ground beneath them began to shake and the pyramids began to glow with an eerie light. Suddenly, the group was surrounded by a group of hooded figures, dressed in long robes and brandishing ancient weapons. They spoke in a language that no one could understand, but their intentions were clear: they were hostile. The tour guide tried to reason with them, but it was no use. They were dragged away, deep into the heart of the pyramids. As they entered the pyramid, the group was confronted with a scene of horror. The walls were lined with hieroglyphics depicting scenes of human sacrifice and blood rituals. They were thrown into a chamber deep within the pyramid and told that they were to be the next sacrifices to the ancient gods. The group was horrified, but they knew that they had to find a way to escape. They searched desperately for a way out, but the chamber was sealed tight. It was only when one of them stumbled upon a hidden passage that they had any hope of escape. They made their way through the dark and winding passage, their hearts pounding with fear. Finally, they emerged into the light of day. But they were not outside the pyramid, they were in an underground chamber, deep beneath the desert sands. The chamber was filled with a strange and powerful energy, and the group knew that they had stumbled upon something incredible. But they had no time to ponder the significance of their discovery, as the hooded figures were closing in. They ran for their lives, but they knew that they would not be able to outrun their pursuers for long. They had to find a way to defeat them. It was then that one of the group remembered the hieroglyphics they had seen in the pyramid. They had depicted a powerful ritual that could be used to defeat the ancient gods. They quickly improvised a ritual, and to their amazement, it worked. The hooded figures were defeated, and the group was able to make their escape. But their ordeal was not over yet. As they emerged from the underground chamber, they found themselves face to face with the tour guide, but he was no longer the man they had known. He had been possessed by the spirit of an ancient pharaoh, and he was determined to claim the group as his sacrifices. The group fought for their lives as the possessed tour guide unleashed all manner of ancient magic upon them. But they were able to use the ritual they had learned to weaken him and finally banish the pharaoh's spirit. Exhausted and shaken, the group stumbled out of the pyramids and back to the safety of their bus. They were met with confusion and disbelief from the other tourists, who had not witnessed the horrors that they had just endured. But the group knew that what they had experienced was all too real. As they made their way back to their hotel, the group couldn't shake the feeling that they had been forever changed by their encounter with the pyramids. They had uncovered secrets that were not meant for human eyes, and they knew that they could never truly escape the memory of what had happened to them. But even though they knew that they would never be the same, they also knew that they would always be drawn back to the pyramids. For they knew that the pyramids held a power that was greater than any of them could ever imagine, and they knew that they could never truly leave it behind. The Pyramids of Giza are monuments to a power and technology that is beyond our understanding, and as such, they have always been shrouded in mystery and intrigue. But for one group of tourists, their visit to the pyramids became a terrifying nightmare that they would never forget, as they had to fight for their lives against the ancient gods, who were determined to claim them as sacrifices. The end. Thanks for watching another episode of Frightening Fiction. If you enjoyed the chills and thrills, make sure to like, subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss a scary story. Until next time, keep it frightening.